Welcome back to the REI Agent. My guest today is Yisbel Bera, team lead and CEO of Kingdom Group at eXp Realty in Cape Coral, Florida. Yisbel has built one of the most recognized Latina-led real estate operations in the country, landing in the top 1% of eXp's 89,000 agents globally and earning the eXp Icon designation 4 times. She has also been named one of the top 250 Latino realtors in the United States. Beyond sales, she has built an entire business ecosystem around her team, including Thrive Transactions LLC and coaching business dedicated to helping agents in the Hispanic community build sustainable, profitable careers. Yisbel, welcome to the REI Agent podcast.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. Excited to be here, Matias, and thanks again for having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about how you got into this crazy world of real estate.
Yeah, well, I start actually, I used to be a wholesaler prior to get licensed. So that's how everything started. What I was buying real estate and the experience that I was having wasn't very pleasant and good. And I go, no, I need to get licensed. And also at the same time, I would definitely earn my own commission while investing in real estate, which is one of the greatest vehicle to build wealth and legacy, right? So, yeah, that's how everything started by putting inside. I buy ugly houses. I'm sure you've seen those.
Yeah.
But yes, that's how I started. And there's a very thin line between what you can do as a wholesaler and what you cannot do. So I'm always looking forward for compliance, and I go, oh, let me get licensed, and that's how everything started.
So, what were you doing before the wholesale thing, and what made you get into real estate in general? What excited you about real estate?
Yeah, that's a great question. I used to work for the state of Florida. I was working for the Department of Children and Families, and it was my dream job. But the pay it wasn't really good. I spent there a couple years. Benefits for the state are great, but the pay is not very good. Back in the day, I was living kind of paycheck to check, like every American does, right? And I go like, oh no, I deny to live check to check. I deny it. So I had kids. Now they're all grown, but I go like I wanna provide options to my kids. I like it. It just hurt everybody's heart. Every parent that is listening to me know that it's just uncomfortable to say no to your kids. So they were my big why, to switch over. And I already tried different sales business. I used to sell and I do have a bachelor degree in business management, major in marketing. So I always be in sell, so it's always been my thing. And I remember that I done the Mary Kay. I also done the Aqua, which is a special water. So I was selling stuff, but nothing worked, nothing fulfilled. And I go, I feel that I should be doing something else. And then that's when I start and switch. And I start wholesaling, and it was working. And then I got a couple phone calls from real estate agents, and like, hey, what you're doing is illegal. And I go, excuse me. And then I start doing my research, and I go, oh, there's a very, very thin line between what I can do and what I cannot do. And then I got licensed, and that's how everything started. But definitely my children was the big why for me, and the average life that I was living, and knowing that I was a homeowner back, and even I own a home, I was barely making it. So that's the reason why I started in real estate.
Okay, so you always had that hustle in you. You're definitely wanting to go out and make something happen. Try a few different avenues that maybe weren't as successful. The wholesaling thing is definitely interesting, and I know there are a lot of different ways of doing it, and I think there's more ethical ways than others. And I think it's often misunderstood in the real estate community, like the traditional sales community as well. But yeah, I think, laws have changed, and I think it's state by state as well. I know that in Virginia, where I'm at, I think right now you're only supposed to be able to do like one deal a year without a license. So getting a license is definitely an option, a great option if you're in that. And
Yeah,
it's different worlds, right? It's like it's wholesale versus retail.
yeah, no, 100%. It's a different war, and you're putting very hot deals with investors, and it's pretty much distress homes, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely in Florida, it's a little bit different. You can do more than one transaction without a license. But I was starting having momentum, and I started noticing that my signs were start getting removed, and I go and getting phone calls and stuff like that. And then I got licensed. I'm no longer doing wholesale, but I do a lot of REOs right now. And my niche is investors because
Okay.
that's how I started.
That's awesome. So when you were wholesaling and when you were, getting people calling you, you're finding leads of distressed homes. Were you selecting some to take on yourself as well? Were you flipping any? Were you
Yes.
doing
Oh,
any burrs?
yes. Yes, I remember my first investment I bought was a short sale actually, and that home I actually made a great deal on that home. I bought it, I would say about 120,000 less than the market value.
Okay.
I invest about 30,000, but I'm talking about 2017 or 18, which right now you cannot do the type of
Yeah.
remodeling that I did. That will be today's money, maybe 70,000, 60,000 or so. And I made almost 200,000, my bad. I almost made 200,000 when I resell it. Yes.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
You said that was your
Yeah.
first one?
That was my first one, but I
Wow.
kept it. That I kept it.
Okay.
I kept it for some time, and
Did you
then
did you cash out any, like, did you do a cash out refinance, and did you take more than the equity, or more than the money you had in it? Like, did you like make a profit on the refinance itself?
well, actually, what I did, I sold it. I put in 1031 exchange, and then I invest two more. I
Okay.
use it as a down payment for two more, and so and so. But I don't recommend anyone to use that money or equity for expenses or for wasting the money. You should multiply actually that profit, that equity, because that's when momentum start happening, and that's how you start building wealth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I agree completely. I think that it can be, even if you're holding that property and you're doing a cash out refinance just to get, even if you're just breaking even, right? Or
Yeah,
sometimes now
that's
it's
another
probably
way.
it's even probably harder to break even. Like you might have to leave a little bit of money in the deal to make the numbers work. But at the end of the day, it's a much better deal than you would be able to get otherwise. And you can then tap into that equity with home equity lines of credit to then again rinse and repeat and keep going with like building that momentum, like you said. So like if you want to buy another property, if you want to go to the auction and buy it in cash, like you can use some of that equity from a home equity line of credit to keep that momentum going. So definitely it can compound upon itself, and getting started is
Yes.
really the most important part.
Yeah, no, 100%. And if you have a home and you're starting investing and you have some tenants in there, you have some passive income. What you can do is later on, once that home generates some equity, then, like you say, you do some equity line of credit or some refinance cash out if it makes sense, because sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Interest rate is going to be too high. So, and then you invest into the next one and the next one and the next one until you're able to buy a building, which that's my goal actually. I don't have any commercial property, but that's my goal before the end of the year to get have some commercial. It's less work actually. It's less work.
Yeah.
Um,
You're looking at an apartment, or are you looking at do you have it specified?
no, I'm actually looking for some type of commercial place that like a store, a multi-unit store, office units.
Mhm.
things like that. Because at least in Florida, they're pretty much on their own. We don't do anything as landlord. They're responsible for absolutely everything, which is easier than residential. You have to be, if there's something wrong with the AC and the main four things in a home: AC, roof, electrical panel, and plumbing. It's
Yeah.
more work for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'd be great to diversify the portfolio a little bit, because commercial and residential kind of are, a little bit separate. They have their own kind of cycles. Tell us then about your start with actual getting into the sales, the traditional sales model. You said you're still kind of investor focused. Were you taking some of those those wholesaling leads and putting them on the market kind of more traditionally, or where did you go when you got licensed?
Yeah. So once I got licensed, I continued serving my investors. So I started listing their homes for sale.
Like after they flipped them?
And yes, exactly that. And a few of them have like 20 houses. So I started having momentum. Like on my first year, I made more than I made on my secular job for a year. So and typically your first year is kind of like trying the waters and see how the business go. But I actually got success because but number one, in order to have success and growth, you must have hungry, and
Yeah.
you need to really want it. Because if you're trying this business out, okay, let's see what's going to happen, nothing is going to happen that way. You're either full in or you're out. Because as you might know, this business as average doesn't really work. But yeah, definitely. I'm grateful, very grateful of God, and for everyone that trusts me.
Did you when you were starting to wholesale, sorry to backtrack here, did you do both? Did you do your job,
Yes.
full-time job, and then kind of side hustled? How long did it take for
Yes.
your transition? Like when you were licensed, were you full-time in real estate, or did you do a transitionary period there as well?
I did a transition. Yeah, so it took me a year. It
Okay.
took me a year to actually be on my own, and then I opened up a corporation, and then I W-2 my corporation to myself so I can have a salary. And yeah, that's another thing, that when you are doing the real estate business, you want to do it formally and treat it as a business, because a lot of time agents, they eat their commission, which is wrong. You want to reinvest it back in your business, reinvest it on yourself as personal development. That's another thing that I did, is that I specialize myself. I did a couple designations and a specialty, and I still do to this day. If I see something that aligns with my goal, education for me is so powerful. I mean, you are what you know, and people this day, they don't do business with you because they like you or something. Is they move by data and report by what you can add to them. But yes, it took me a year, to actually fully transition.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're probably the type of person that could really focus on, this is my goal, this is what I want, and I'm going to make this happen. Even if I am spending 8 hours a day at this other job, I'm going to do what I can, do what I have to make this other thing, because I see that it's going to be more profitable, it's going to be better, it's going to be a better fit for me. Is that accurate?
100%, 100%. I grew up in an entrepreneur household. I saw my father becoming millionaire 2 times and also going bankrupt. I'm
Mm.
not afraid of anything. I'm not. I know how to live with a lot, and I know how to live without
Yeah.
nothing. I'm not afraid at all.
There's something liberating about that. If you have, once you've kind of made something like this successful, you've got the grind, you go through the grind, and you kind of have momentum going. There's something liberating about knowing that if you had to do it over again, you could, and that if you had
Yes.
to go back to, being really disciplined about, your expenses and living on very little, that you could. And it is a fear people have to get into the business for the same reason, right? Like they're worried about it all being dependent upon themselves. But at the end of the day, like, if you're in another job, Like if you're like in corporate America, for example, like you don't have any control about getting laid off or like, what might happen in that world.
Yes.
But if you build it yourself in a way that you can, make it, and you have confidence in that, you prove it to yourself, and you
Yes.
know that you're okay with less.
Yes.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I will tell you one thing also is that I've been in this amazing country for a little bit over half of my life, over 21 years. And I think when you have the goal so close to your eyes, you are unable to appreciate the beauty. And coming from a third world country, I was born in the Dominican Republic, and I know that in order to get things happen and momentum is hard over there. But when you come here and you see so many opportunities, you go like, wow. As soon as I hit the ground here, my brain was going really fast. My father was an economist and politician in my country, very well known, very respected. And coming here, it was like it's just knowing everything that wasn't here. But again, sometimes when you were born in a place and you're used to certain things, I think sometimes Americans are very comfortable, and I include myself, because after being here, like, oh, no, 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 I have to be uncomfortable, because in the comfortable place, growth won't happen. We have to become uncomfortable. And seeing homeless in this country is definitely a mental thing, because there's no way with the amount of opportunity that we have. Of course, nothing is given. You have to work. But when you come from a third world country, that no matter how hard you work over there, sometimes nothing happen. So, yeah.
I mean, this is actually leads me into a question I kind of wanted to ask you. Now that you've been doing this for a while, you've seen success, like you've rode those waves. What keeps you going? I mean, this market also has shifted, and I've talked to a lot of people in Florida, and I don't know about your area, but it definitely seems like Florida was one of the earlier markets to shift. And
Yes.
it can be kind of disorienting. It can be, we're in a place right now where I think the sellers are kind of still expecting things to be like they were. Things have slowed down. We're still like, 2 week kind of average days on market. So we're not bad. But then buyers are like, why has this house been on the market for over a week? There's something wrong with it. It's overpriced. And there's this like two expectations of like what the market should be that it just isn't anymore. And it leaves the people really frustrated. And that then has to be challenging for agents as well. Like they have to adjust. They have to, things are just different and harder, and expectations are not being met. So all I have to say is, how do you keep the momentum, keep the motivation, keep that fire in you?
Yeah, great question. Great question. I believe that everyone should do this exercise, and it is to define your why in business, and not only define your why, but go 7 levels why. I learned this from Dean Graziosi. I don't know if you know Dean Graziosi. From him, I actually learned wholesaling. So
Okay.
Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, I'm sure you know Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
They both are doing a lot of things together right now. And I actually bought a course from him and ta-da-da. So I believe that when you don't do this exercise, you might lose focus. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, I do this because of my kids. Okay. Why is important? Why you're doing for your kids? Oh, because I want to provide them freedom and choices. And why you want to provide freedom and choices? And as you see, I'm going 7 levels why.
Mm.
Because when the market gets tough, when people hang out the phone on you, when things happen, like I had when I start, you have to go back to your why, which is your fuel, is what really becomes or make you unstoppable. And in fact, I wrote a book, and the name is Unstoppable Drive, because that's really my life.
Mm.
I don't stop, and I don't need motivation just looking at my kids' face is more than enough, you know, just looking at them. I don't know if you watch Cinderella Man. It's a movie that it's a true story movie that I really recommend, Cinderella Man. And it was one of the best person in the boxing sport. I don't know too much about boxing, but his story really got my attention. And they were asking, why do you fight with so much success? And he said, for milk. And people say, like, milk? Because he actually went through the Great Depression, World War II, and he got kids. They took him away from him because he didn't have any food to provide, and he was fighting for milk to pretty much to provide to his kids. His story is really incredible. I mean, it really touched my heart. And when you know why you're doing the things for, nothing stop you, you know, nothing stop you. You have to go back to the basic and to your inside, because greatness starts from inside out. No focusing on what's happening out there or what's the tendency of the market. um Excuse me. Sometimes there's too much noise with the news,
Yeah.
and a lot of negativity from other people and agents. We don't need that, because that actually put us down. Our energy, we have to
Yeah.
protect it. Our circle, our mindset, you know, and our mindset actually builds of what we listen and what we see. So what is it that you're watching also? What is it that you're listening? Who's your circle? So that's something that I would definitely take in consideration when building a business during crisis or during a shift. At the end of the day, there's always someone making money. No matter what's going on out
Yeah.
there, there's always someone making money, because that person didn't focus in the outside. Because sometimes you focus too much in the outside, then you're gonna crash. You have to
Yeah.
focus on the inside of what you can control and know what you cannot control.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's the only thing you can control. That's really one of the main reasons I'd like kind of turn the noise off for politics and for news. I just like don't want to listen to it because like I don't have any control over it really. I mean, I can go vote, but like I have no control over it, and it just makes me mad. Like, and it's like the news, all that stuff is just really targeting you to they want you to click, so they're going to make you upset. They're going to like give you fear. They're going to give you anger. They're going to give you whatever is going to make you keep clicking and whatever. So like it's just manipulation of your emotions, and again, like you don't have any control of it. I think it's
Yeah.
what do they say? Like if you can focus 90% of your energy on what you can control, you're just going to be a lot more happy. So I love that. Do you have specific routines, like, or I would imagine you like focus on that 7 layers of your why when you got started, when you were in the grind phase, and it probably came a little bit second nature to you. You probably had that kind of ingrained, but like, do you have to go through a process of reminding yourself ever? Or do you have any rituals with that?
Well, you know, in my even the name of my business, definitely, I just have very respecting people's belief. I have a very close relationship with my creator, which I believe in Jesus, you know, respecting again everyone's belief. But is there's so much we can do in our power. But in my life, in my business, his grace and favor put me in places, in rooms, around people that on my own strength I would never made it. So I'm very thankful. So I give thanks every single day to Jesus, you
Mm,
know, and also part of my core values is doing something for someone. There's always someone in a worse position than I am. So I don't compare myself with anybody. I actually compare myself with my version of yesterday. And, you know, I compare myself with myself. So,
okay.
you know, that actually kind of take away some of your focus. So it's part of my daily routine. Like, okay, you did great yesterday. You did this last week. So I kind of review my day. I do that every single day, but I really go in depth every Sunday. I start my weeks on Sunday. I prepare my week before every noise on Monday start. I'm already prepared and ready, but I'm grateful. I do exercise. I do a lot of stuff for the community. I'm very present. Because I grew up in a politician household, I'm very also involved with politics. I used to be the chair for the Hispanic Board of Southwest Florida, 2022, 2024, where I get to know a lot of elective officials and major, and some of them are very close friends. And um, again, just find something that you love and be part of it. I believe that our business is very aligned with politics. It can either affect our business or no. It's not about watching news. It's about who can you elect better and why, and how us affect the money of our country and the economy and the stability, the percentage of our. Find something that you love to do and get involved. Do something for the community. Be grateful. I'm very active at my church as well. So that's pretty much kind of like me, my
I,
daily work.
I love the gratitude aspect of what you just said, and I think that's so important. And yeah, I served as a president for my local association of realtors, actually twice because somebody resigned. But it is important to give back as well in that regard. I love that. And okay, so you then at one point I guess walk us through how you became a team lead, or what made you start a team and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I was doing great by myself. But I started getting, a lot of phone calls, like, hey, help me on this, help me on that. And I always, love to help. And I go, like, why no? I should create a team. And I mean, when something is meant to happen, it just meant to happen. And at the same time, I was having those thoughts, I guess, I don't know, God, maybe put it in my heart. But someone actually reached out to me and say, like, hey, I want to partner with you. I'm opening an office. I didn't have an office because the brokerage that I'm associated with, you don't need an office really.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like an iCloud-based business. So yeah, sure, why not? I opened up my first location, and then from there I moved to the downtown of Cape Coral, which is the city I live right now. And now I have about 4 years with the team. But the first thing was I was curious, what is it gonna be like having a team? And it's like compound interest. If you can do this much on your own, imagine what you can do with a team. Now, my team is number 4 in the entire state of Florida with the brokerage that I'm associated right now. So my team
Wow.
is number 4 in the month of June, which it feels different when I know how to make it by myself and being icon agent as a person, but now with the team, the feeling is even more amazing, more joyful, more meaningful.
Okay.
So you can definitely get there faster with a group of leaders, like-minded people. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's really awesome. I think that's, there's often people need to have some sort of growth within the business. For a while, they just making it that grind phase is important, and just getting somewhere with their own business is important. But there becomes a time where you might need to bring on a transaction coordinator, you might need to bring in an assistant. You might start looking at forming a team in the maybe the more traditional sense of a buyer's agent and being a seller agent yourself. Do you have that kind of
Yeah.
division, or okay?
Yeah, so my business structure is that excuse me, the number one thing that every agent should have is a transaction coordinator. I mean, no agents should be dealing with paperwork. I think you should have enough time to do what you're good at it, which is connecting with people, solving problems, selling homes, meeting with people, having great appointments out there, leasing appointments, buyer's consultation, and so and so. So first, I start with my TC, transaction coordinator. Then I hire a BA, and now, so with the team now being, I have 27 people on my organization. I have right now a listing agent, I have buyer's agent, I have a personal assistant, VA, and I also have a transaction coordinator. And I also, build a transaction coordinator company because I know there's a lot of struggle in that.
Hmm.
And so thanks God, we've been doing great with that company.
That's the Thrive Transactions.
Yes, yes. Thrive
Nice.
Transactions LLC.
That's awesome. It is really. Yeah, there's so much, and I think there's all different types of people have different types of things they struggle with. Some people struggle with letting go, being really needing to micromanage all the different details. So that's
Mhm.
definitely something that some people struggle with when they come into this world. So it's certainly, I think you can just have more opportunities to grow, and you can boil it down to your why as well. Are you wanting to be is having freedom of time important to you? And obviously burnout is another consideration. Like if you're just, constantly doing everything all the time, you're probably not doing it well, and you're probably going to lose the momentum that you need to continue and do what's most important, right?
Yeah, no, you actually touched something really important because I have three kids, and once I start getting busy, then I found myself on vacation, being too much on the computer, being too much on the phone, and my kids were starting complaining. So, okay, yes, now you have financial freedom and all that kind of things. You're going to places here and there. But are you're a slave of yourself if you don't build a business structure, if you don't hire people like I was. I was burning out, and I thought that nobody would do the job better than I was doing it, which is a lie. Is another way of burning out, and you just have to delegate. You just have to let it go and let it go, let it be, right? But yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think it's you have so many opportunities to really build a better business if you put the right people in the right seats. And I think there's a lot of great resources out there for that kind of thing. Starting to think about like who not how. That those kind of books are definitely helpful in that regard. Tell us now about the three golden nuggets that you've brought for our listeners. And by the way, if you're driving around like a normal agent, getting your information by podcasts, etc., listening to this and are thinking, man, those are some great tips that she's brought to us so far. We have a newsletter that goes out once a week. Go to reiagent.com to sign up for that. That would summarize this content. We also have a blog for each episode on that website. So definitely go check that out. But yeah, what are your three golden nuggets for us?
Yeah, well, and number one, I will say mindset. I'm a huge with everything starts from the mind. Protect your mind, because if you can see it, you can definitely achieve it, right? I'm sure you heard that before. But protect your mind, and we don't get what we want. We get what we believe, and everything starts by the mind. And it's the mind is so powerful that actually creates they scientists study that the mind creates a vibration. The thought when you're thinking about creates a vibration in the space, and so you attract that. So be careful what you're thinking, and what you have in your mind, and you can switch your mind. You can switch your mind by just changing the thought and doing some type of activity, or changing the conversations, the circle, and things like that. Protect your mind. Number two is like Tony Robbins will say all the time, take massive actions. Okay, once you see it, once you're thinking, once you write it down, like write out the vision, right? But what you're gonna do now, what that thing that you want. So you must be specific with the action plan, right? Schedule it. okay, yes, I'm doing this, and that, but how does the schedule looks like? What are you doing daily? Does that take you closer to your goals, or actually it's not? Does that conversation serve me to get there? So be very intentional about your daily activities, about your daily action. And number three, I will say is the people. That is so important. I met some people that actually get me to maybe that person. Every person deserves attention, right? As long as is like-minded people, of course. If it's your people, the type of person align with who you are. Sometimes we don't give certain importance, but that person actually will take you to the next person that is going to help you go to the next level of your business. We can do the speed that you want to do in business, but we need people. We don't need more money. We need more people. We need to impact more people. We need to solve more problems for people. Those are the three things really that I kind of want to share. Mindset, massive actions, and the people you surround yourself, really.
It's so true. It is so true. It's that whole, if you are thinking about buying a Tesla, you will start noticing all the Teslas on the road, right? If you are a pessimistic person and you think about all the negative things all the time in your life, you will just keep seeing those things in your life, and that becomes reality. And if you aren't familiar with cognitive behavioral therapy, that is maybe one of the most studied practices or research proven therapy practices that is all about changing the way you think about things. And it can be night and day difference for your life. You can start noticing all the positives and the opportunities instead of all the like drawbacks and all the negative things in your life, and surrounding yourself with people that have that energy as well, and have the experience and have the life maybe that you want to live, and or that you're striving to live, is so important. So those are fantastic tips. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, of course. And you mentioned something actually very good, which is a reticular activating system. I learned that also from Tony Robbins, and is that what you focus on is span, right? So watch out on what you focus on. Like you said, if you focus on the Mercedes, you start seeing Mercedes everywhere, right? If you focus on no deals, no closings, well, that's what you get, right? But yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
What about a favorite book, one that you think is fundamental for that everybody should read in this business, or just one that you're currently enjoying?
Yeah, actually, I love the new book, one of the newest book of Mel Robbins, Let Them. I love that book, Let Them. I recommend that 100%, because when you're doing great things, you always gonna have some haters out there, and some people. If you are not doing anything, then nothing is gonna happen. But once you start having momentum and success, the competition or someone out there is gonna, look at. Where are you failing, or what are you doing, or let them. So again, don't focus on the evil and on the competition, and just focus on yourself, how to be a better version of yourself every single day, how to be a better professional, a better solver problem, and things like that. But read that book, and it will definitely switch your mentality. Yes.
Love it. It's a great recommendation. Now, if people want to follow you on social media or find out more about you, where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me very simple as my name, Yisbel Bera. I'm everywhere with my first and last name, Yisbel Bera, and LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, you can find me anywhere with my name.
And we'll have links in the show notes. Yisbel, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a lot of fun talking to you, energizing. You have the energy. We can tell that you've done the work needed to be successful, to maintain that positive attitude, that momentum. So thank you so much for helping others feel that by listening or talking here on the show. If you all enjoyed this episode, definitely give us a review, subscribe to wherever you listen to your podcasts, and go to REI Agent again, sign up for that newsletter, check out our CRM that we have now launched. You can get a founder's discount, 30-day free trial for sure. And that CRM will help you maintain the relationships that you need in your business without coming across as a spammy fake AI person. It is helping you be a real relationship-based agent. It also has profit first built in there. So as we were discussing, it's easy to get a little bit distracted or to not treat your business as a business. This will help you break down your income that comes in so that you are able to reinvest it in your business, save for an investment property, and just operate a successful business. Again, Yisbel, thanks so much for being on the show. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Matthias, for having me. The honor is mine. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for listening to the REI Agent.
If you enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe to catch new shows every week.
Visit reiagent.com for more content.
Until next time, keep building the life you want.
All content in the show is not investment advice or mental health therapy. It is intended for entertainment purposes only.